Hey, welcome to the Video and Photo Business Blueprint. From struggling creative to fully booked professional. Hi, I'm Will. And if you're watching this, you're probably where I was 3 years ago. Talented, passionate, but struggling to turn your photography in a real, sustainable business. Maybe you're undercharging because you don't know what you're worth. Maybe you're inconsistent with bookings and never know where your next client is coming from. Or maybe you're just tired of competing on price instead of value. Here's what I want you to know. Your photo and video skills aren't the problem. The problem is nobody taught you how to run a business properly. And that's exactly what this 6-part mini course is going to fix. My name is Will. I'm a producer, director, editor, shooter, and photographer. I've done it all from music videos to New York Fashion Week, short films, commercials, e-commerce photo shoots, fashion photo shoots, you name it, I've done it. And I pivoted so many times. I felt actually really guilty for doing this because I felt like if I stuck with one thing, I would have been a big success way back when. So, but my pivoting is actually my superpower. I feel like my versatility helps me capture many different clients. And sometimes I'm just producing. I get the proposals and the budgets together, and then I just hire out people, which I love doing because I do love every aspect of film. And that was one thing I've loved since high school. We had a dark room for analog film photography with the chemicals. I went to film school and I took mainly directing and producing classes. I lived in Los Angeles where I was production coordinator on a lot of really cool music videos and learned a lot from the producers as I was working with them on a weekly basis. But most recently, I really love working with other creatives and helping them get to the next level because this has been a big grind this past few years to figuring all these things out, making systems, capitalizing on AI, and then just pushing to the next level to make my life easier because time is money, money's time, and I love being efficient and organized. And I wasn't always like this, so just to let you know, this can be taught. If you are hungry and you have the drive, this can be taught. And so hopefully this course is there to push you to the next level and give you some insights of how I've done it and how you can as well. So I know personally, like talent isn't always going to win out on jobs. So everything I'm going to teach you is going to help level up your business side to where your talent is. Because if you're watching this, I'm sure you are talented. I'm sure you have something you're really good at, and I just want to get you to the next level because I've always loved helping people, whether it was volunteering back in the day for youth group trips with my church, or whether it was volunteering more recently at a food kitchen in Bali. I do love the act of service and giving back. So I'm here to help. Please email me. Take part in the community, and let's get you to the next level. So what we want to cover is I want to take you from guessing where your next client is coming from to having a system where you're always booking out and you always have new leads. I want you to learn all the tools and AI softwares I use that help me. There's going to be 6 parts with bonus material worth $2,500, and you're just paying $27. So thanks for joining. This community is something you should take a part in as well, not just this course. I'll be posting stuff on a consistent basis. Hopefully you get value out of that. And if you don't, then the time is not right. You have a lot of stuff on your plate. I have a lot of stuff on my plate, but I've worked consistent 12-hour days to get to where I'm at. So I don't want to hear that you're busy because I get back to people so fast and I'm the busiest person I know. So be active, okay? Make this work for you. You work it, it will work. So just a brief summary again, what we're going to go over. Modular 1 is pricing your work confidently, pricing psychology, the 3-tier pricing structure, the cost calculation formula, and premium positioning. Modular 2, we're going to go over attracting your dream clients consistently, the client attraction system that fills your calendar with your dream client, the dream client avatar, content pillars, content creation 20 times faster. Modular 3 is handling objections like a pro without feeling awkward, the 5 most common objections, the feel, felt, found method, which is really cool, objection response scripts, exactly what to say for each question and objection, which I'll send you at the end as well. Modular 4 is turning your portfolio into a booking machine. The portfolio psychology, what clients are really looking for, Instagram photo settings, client gallery systems, and what systems and tools to use to maximize your output. Modular 5, converting inquiries into bookings, the follow-up formula that converts inquiries into bookings. Response speed matters. I'm really quick to get back to people. I like to do follow-up emails within 6 hours or less. Discovery call framework and the follow-up sequence. Modular 6, we're going to scale without burnout, full time into no time, transition timeline, revenue diversification, scale like a team of 5 with just being a one-man show, and then eventually you should hire out people to help you do the administration tasks if AI isn't doing it for you. And then export settings, and why all this works, and hopefully your transformation is what I want to see towards the end, and some bonus materials I will send you at the end. Modular 1, how to price your work and actually get paid for what you're worth. So the core pricing framework, the psychology of pricing, why photographers undercharge, and how to break that cycle of competing on price. In the past, I was definitely in this fear-based pricing. What if they say no? Let me just make a low budget thing for them because then they can't say no. It's so cheap, and I'm working around their budget. And then I would just be burnt out by working for so many different clients at such low rates where it wasn't serving me, and I never knew how to get to the next level. So you want to come with this confidence-based pricing, and you have to justify what quality costs. Because I'm a perfectionist, and I'm sure you are too. You all have standards, and so you're going to pay a tax from this imposter syndrome, and how self-doubt costs you thousands of dollars per year. I had to get to a point where I had to do everything from music videos and fashion week and e-commerce shoots and headshots and album covers just to get the point of like, no, I'm actually really good at what I do, and I'm really good at relationships with clients, and I'm a real good people person. So that's something you got to learn as well if you're not a good people person, and understanding how to respond in certain ways. But I'll give you a cheat sheet, don't worry. So cheap clients are actually the most demanding and difficult. I'm sure you know this. They demand the world, and Hollywood type productions at like the lowest cost, and they ask the most questions, and they ask for this many extra edits and this much, and it's not worth low. You got to get away from these low budget clients, trust me. The 3-tier pricing structure: basic, premium, luxury package that guide your clients to your preferred option. I usually go with, I mean, you could copy this or you could copy what I do. I usually go with basic, pro, and then elite, but you can call them whatever you want. So for example, like the basic would be $800. That's 2 hours of shooting, 25 edits. They don't have to know how long the edits are going to take, but editing is going to take a little bit. And then providing them with an online gallery. I love using Pixie It's beautiful. It's amazing for helping clients choose selects as well. I don't use Dropbox or G Drive anymore for sending low quality JPEGs. I always use Pixie It's so much easier, and the clients love it. And there's a little heart thing, and you get a notification. Premium package, let's say, would be like 1,500 for 4 hours, 50 final edited photos plus online gallery, and then give them something else besides a USB drive. I know those are kind of dated, but it's just an example of you want to give them something else, because they'll usually go for the middle package. Luxury package, let's say, is $2,500. It's 6 hours of shooting, 75 edited photos, a premium album, maybe an engagement session as well if they're getting like wedding photos, but you also do like engagement shoots or whatever included or whatever. The psychology behind this is that 70% of clients are going to choose the middle package when presented with 3 options. And most of my clients are going to choose the middle or top package because I'm so good at closing. Cost calculation formula. So this is how you're going to factor in your time, expenses, editing, profit margins, and business overhead. You have to think about how your expenses are going to add up. I only did this recently, but I actually have a spreadsheet of all my expenses, my subscriptions, my electricity, my rent, where I work from home, my electric bill. You have to think about this. These are all business expenses. And to run efficiently, or let's say you go to co-working or you rent a studio, you have to think about all these things. So your shooting time plus travel time and editing time plus the administrative time, like doing all this pre-production stuff, making proposals, making beautiful decks to land a client, you have to think about that. That's your time. So that's your total hours. And then your equipment costs, your insurance, your software subscriptions, your business expenses, that's your overhead. The formula is the total hours you're going to be working, including editing and travel and administrative time, times the desired hourly rate. Now, you might want to lower this because travel time shouldn't be as expensive. If you're $100 an hour, maybe you lower your hourly rate to around like $60 or $70 an hour US. And then plus your overhead, plus 30% profit margin, that should be your package price. So you should adjust accordingly based on the package it is, so there should be, one you have for like wedding shoots or one you have for like music videos. They should all be a little different based on how much work you think it's going to be. But, the desired hourly rate should be around the same. And then based on the hours you work, plus the overhead, plus your profit margin, that should be your package price. So the 30% is there if you do want to give a little wiggle room of 10% discount if it's a first time client or something like that. And then you're still making your profit. You're still getting paid your worth. Now, what is your hourly? If you're starting from scratch, let's just think of it. Okay, so I want you to do market research. I want you to research what photographers or videographers are charging in your area without copying them. You should take some things from them. You should take some insights from them. I literally want you to do a secret shopping technique. You have to pretend you're a potential client and approach 5 competitors in your area. Wedding Wire, The Knot. Price analysis is great for wedding photographers if you're starting from there. And then I want you to position yourself 20% higher than the average market rate because you're worth it. If you do all these things, you are worth it. We'll get into more scripts later, but I want you to be confident in your pricing because you've done all this math. You've figured out all these things and you have an idea of what your hourly rate should be and your overhead is. So you should understand how your packages should line up. It will give you a great clarity of where you should position yourself. So I want you to present your prices without apologizing or justifying. So let's say you say my wedding collection starts at 2,500. That's a great way to start. I never want you to say something of I usually charge around. That gives too much wiggle room. You have to be firm on your pricing. Your body language and tone will convey that value. Don't come from a desperate place because after this, you should feel confident of what you should price your work at. And you should never explain your prices because it makes you sound defensive. You've done the math, you've done all the background stuff. This is what it is. And if they don't want to pay that, then it's going to leave room for other clients who will pay that. And trust me, people who lowball you, they're going to be the most difficult people to work with. Trust me, I have been there. So premium positioning strategy. So why this works, premium positioning. Attract clients who value quality over cheap rates. Here's a case study, how raising prices 40% resulted in better clients and less stress. Let's take, for example, Walmart versus Nordstrom's. Obviously, there's better, shopping experiences than Nordstrom's, but let's just, from the difference of Walmart to Nordstrom's, you can understand that the client experience is going to be different. People understand it's going to be a little less chaotic in Nordstrom's compared to Walmart. People are going to have somebody looking after them if they need a new shoe size or dress size, and people will pay more for that. And this is super important because premium clients are going to refer other premium clients if you do an amazing job. And you have to walk this through from the whole step of the process, from onboarding to client acquisition to the whole shoot, and reassure these premium clients that what they're paying for is worth it through the whole experience, from onboarding and pre-production to location scouting and everything to the deliverables. Value-based pricing versus time-based pricing. Why packages protect your profit and position you as premium. I'm teaching you all this because in the time-based formula, you would be like, oh, I'm $100 an hour. That sounds like labor. You want to be value-based pricing. I start at $1,500 for a wedding collection. It sounds like an investment. So your packages prevent scope creep and client negotiation. Scope creep means like if somebody is on set and asking for something else, but you didn't talk about that explicitly, then that's an extra fee. These add-ons are extra fees that they have to be understanding that, oh wait, we really wanted like some behind the scenes video, but you're a photographer that day on set. Well, you could have hired somebody else to do that, but you didn't know until the day of. So you have to be very clear what they're getting. There should be add-ons in your packages as well, rush order deliveries, or a few other things. If they want another assistant camera on set, if you can't get all the other angles, then that's something that needs to be discussed, and they need to understand the add-ons as well to all your packages. Authority pricing method, how your expertise justifies higher rates. Your years of experience, your specialized skill, and your unique style equals your premium pricing. I've been doing this for 12 years now. That's a lot of experience. I had to be competitive with a lot of people in Bali at first when I knew what the locals were charging. But I have a Western perspective. I have 12 years of experience. I have a lot of knowledge, and more recently, a lot of knowledge in social media too. So with certain clients, they're paying for my expertise, my knowledge, how easy it is to work with me, how communicative I am, and I outline everything. All of my Zoom calls, I record and I send a follow-up email with the recording using AI, and it looks amazing where they get this whole like summary of what our call was, so they understand what they need to do, they understand what I need to do for until our next call, and it's all outlined there. So that stuff is worth the premium pricing. You need to learn how to communicate your expertise without bragging, building authority through your content and testimonials, making your website pristine, which we'll get into more later. And then also, I want you to think about seasonal pricing adjustments, when and how to adjust your rates for peak seasons. Let's say if you're a wedding photographer, your peak season is going to be May through October. That should be a 20 to 30% price increase. Off-season discounts, you should lower your stuff by 10 to 15% if it's the off-season. Never more than 15% though. Like, I want you to be profitable. And then there should be little like holiday gift packages or giveaways, like, coming up I'm going to be doing, holiday Christmas card photos, and if they book at a certain time before October, they're going to get a discount. And you want to have things that are seasonal that will help your business continue to flourish, and you have these little giveaways and whatnot, and have discounts for first time clients, but never more than 10 or 15%. But based on your 30% profit margin, you're still making good money. Modular 2, attract dream clients consistently. So I want you to do this exercise, and I'll send you an email prompt after this, after you tell me you watch this. But I want you to come up with your dream client avatar. I need you to get really, really detailed on this, because if you don't know who you're selling to, you're not going to be able to sell. So you need to identify and define your ideal client beyond just people with money. I want you to come up with their age range, their household income, if they're college educated, what their likes and dislikes are, some, life experiences they've had that have changed them or shaped them for the better. So if you're going for somebody who's like you 5 years ago, that's easy for you to come up with, but get really specific. And I want you to use AI to generate a photo of this person too, so you can really visualize this person. Do one for male, do one for female. You have Jack and you have Jane, and you have these two people that are your dream clients, and you have to get really specific. The more specific you can get, the better. Their values, what they're active on, what platforms, what their pain points are. Do they want unique photos? Are they frustrated with cookie cutter photographers? Where do they hang out? Instagram, wedding blogs, boutique venues. What are their favorite bars? What are their favorite foods? So you want to have this attraction mindset instead of chasing mindset. Why desperation actually repels good clients. The attraction, I work with couples who value artistic photography. The chasing version is I'll shoot anything, I'm available anytime. Your confidence is going to attract while desperation repels. You want to position yourself to attract premium clients. So you need to have messaging that attracts quality over quantity. You want to communicate value before price. You want to build a brand that premium clients recognize and trust. And this has to go through a social media check. It has to go through a website check. It has to go through all client emails, and position yourself in a way where you're going to attract those type of clients time and time and again. And once you get onto a little snowball effect, you are only going to be recommended by the best of the best premium clients, and they're going to recommend you to other people who are fine and more than happy to pay that price. content creation made 10 times faster. So I want you to think of these content pillar strategy, the 5 types of content that position you as the obvious choice. So I haven't been as good on social media as I want to be, but I'm booked out, so it's not as much of a priority because I'm building systems and other things in the background that are taking more precedent at the moment. So pillar one is, behind the scenes. It shows your personality and your process. And so, if you have an assistant on set, you got to have them shoot a little bit of you in action. Pillar two, client features, social proof and results. So doing like a screen recording of your editing, or behind the scenes of you shooting and the client's reaction to them looking at the photos or something. So that's an immediate gratification, and these can be all short. Like these are like 15-20 second clips. Anything that I'm going to be talking about besides testimonials, these should be short, and it will convey how amazing it is to work with you and how you bring a unique style and how you are really good with clients. Pillar three, educational tips. It builds authority and trust. So you want to do stuff where you maybe screen record yourself while you're editing and shows you how you have a unique process. Pillar four, personal stories. It creates a connection and relatability. So just, when you have a client win or something, you just film yourself at night and be like, this was an amazing thing that happened on set. And at last minute, the client asked for this, and I was more than willing to accommodate, and they were so happy that I was flexible or something. And you don't have to say that that was an extra add-on fee or charge, but that's going to build trust and connection to your audience of potential leads or clients or new people down the line that you're going to work with. Pillar five, inspiration slash mood boards. It attracts ideal aesthetics. So, show your process of how it takes you some time to build like a mood board or a proposal for people, and like why you love doing this, because that's going to just attract the right clients, where they see the attention to detail you have when you're just trying to win a client over before they even book with you. I spend a lot of time on my proposals, my mood boards, just understanding the photographer and the client relationship. So it's going to just be easier on set. So my favorite AI software is Poppy AI. It's a whiteboard type of interface. You can use ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Gemini. It doesn't have just one AI software you can use, but the multiple links that you can add, references, websites, Facebook links, TikTok links, documents, text, images. It's really cool how it all can come together. And I build a lot of Instagram reels from this, scripts. I build client proposals from this, but we're just talking about social media for now. So you can get titles, hooks, descriptions, call to actions, the description or the captions at the bottom of your post, the right hashtags. The AI prompt should be generate 10 Instagram reel ideas for wedding photographers targeting luxury brides. And you'll be amazed what it can come up with. And hopefully these are like really short. You can go through your catalog of behind the scenes footage and just do some quick text stuff, and then slap a cool song on, and you're done. So the hook formulas, like POV, you're a bride who, or slash, 3 things I wish every couple knew. And the CTA examples would be save this for your wedding planning, or tag a bride who needs to see this. The script writing for any style is amazing on Poppy AI, whether it's educational, entertaining, or storytelling. Just plug in your topic and tone. I mean, obviously it's AI, you're gonna have to do a little editing, but an educational script template would be problem, solution, call to action. Entertainment script would be hook, story, punchline, call to action. Storytelling script would be the setup, the conflict, the resolution, and the lesson. And you should plug and play these into AI. Start with ChatGPT if that's all you use, but there's so many good systems and tools out there. I highly recommend Poppy. So the AI-powered storytelling is also amazing for converting raw footage, ideas, or tweets into high-impact videos that build trust and authority. So you want to turn client testimonials into story-driven reels, and you want to transform wedding day timelines into educational content. If you have a bunch of amazing footage, just do a voiceover over it and talk about the day, and convert pricing objections into frequently asked question videos. So there's so many ways you can make content, and if you spend 2 or 3 days a week scripting, shooting, and editing. And then the rest of the days of the week are shoots or clients. You can really have your social media on autopilot. Like, it's amazing how you can just like lock in 2 or 3 days of the week. Your social media is done for the next week or two. And then you just focus on client acquisition, leads, marketing, and actual shoot days and editing, because this shouldn't be like an everyday thing. You should really just schedule your stuff. You should do this time blocking stuff where you really just lock in this hour of Monday through Wednesday. I'm going to do social media from script to shooting to editing, and it's done. Now, through AI, you should also be able to build your brand. So you should have personalized style templates. Canva is amazing for this. That clone your tone of voice and visual aesthetic for all future posts. So if you use Poppy, you can put all your Instagram posts on there and just ask it to generate my brand voice, and ask it another question, ask another question. What's my brand voice? What's my visual style? What are template examples? Quote graphics, before and after layouts, client feature formats, and it can really help you drive like how your Canva templates are going to look, how your website's going to look, how everything else is going to look. And it's going to be, once you have that personal brand, people are going to pay that premium because you've spent so much time and effort into honing down who you're talking to. And this should all be through the lens of your avatar of your dream client. So I want you to be able to get the point of posting every day without burning out or hiring a team. Batch content creation, shoot 20 pieces of content in one session. Okay, maybe 10, that's a lot. Content calendar automation, schedule posts 30 days in advance. And repurposing strategy, one photo shoot should become 15 pieces of content. This is so cool to me that, if you have a good reel, you should repurpose that into a carousel. If you have a good carousel, you should repurpose that into a reel. Look at the analytics and see what does well, see what had high engagement, shares, comments. Those are obviously a little more powerful than likes because it gets it out there more. But look at these analytics. If you get really good at this, you should be using a calendar like Notion or something else where it really helps you understand, okay, I'm going to post this day, I'm going to post this that day. You could use your note section in your iPhone if you want, but Notion I feel like is an incredible tool, and you should learn more about Notion. And AI can really help you with that too. There's templates, there's graphs, there's AI incorporated into Notion. It's literally incredible. Your audience growth without guesswork. You should do trend analysis, get AI curated trending sounds, formats, hashtags in your niche before they go viral. Some tools you can use: Trend Talk, Later Influence, hashtag analytics. And you should adapt to trending formats to photography content, or you should adapt it to video content or your niche. And your timing, post trending content within 24 to 48 hours of the trend emergence. After that, it's gone. So also think about SEO optimization, automatically optimize titles and tags and descriptions for YouTube, for TikTok, for Instagram. They're all a little bit different. You got to research this just a little bit, but you have AI, you have no excuse. Instagram, they use 5 to 10 relevant hashtags, mix of popular and niche. You want to use hashtags that are, really popular, like photography tips or wedding day or something, but also use niche ones as well, because you're going to be like a needle in the haystack in these big hashtags. You want to do really niche ones that have, less than like 100K usage or 50K usage. It's really just like you'll be discovered more that way. For TikTok, you want to include trending keywords and captions and video text. And then also think about A and B testing. I learned this from marketing people, where you want to instantly generate 5 creative variations of your video and see which performs best. So I did this recently where I posted 2 forms of content very similar to each other just to see what performed better. And you want to test different hooks. So for certain videos, I will have 2 or 3 different introductions and I'll space them out. There's no punishment for posting content that's similar to each other if it's spaced out within a month or two difference, because you'll have new followers hopefully within a month or two, and you can see what performed better. Like, if you can't hire a marketing person, you got to do it yourself. Test, like I was saying, test different hooks. I'm using wedding photographers as the biggest example, so excuse me if you're not a wedding photographer, but I hope you can take something from this still. Wedding photographers, listen up, versus brides, your photographer should. And then, test different thumbnails, behind the scenes versus final results, or test your posting times. Is 9 a.m. better than 2 p.m. or better than 7 p.m.? Think about where your target audience is, and are they staring at their phone in the morning or at night? This is all stuff you should be testing. And once something hits, keep trying that method, and then maybe down the line you might have to change your approach. But that's social media; it's changing on a weekly basis. Audience research. AI can build detailed avatars of your ideal follower, their pain points and their contents, their crave. So, Instagram Insights, you want to get all these demographics and ask AI when are they going to be most active. And comment analysis, what questions do they ask most? And maybe you could put a poll at the end of your reel or your Instagram post based on what they're going to be asking. And that question will have higher engagement because you've done the research. And then you want to do competitor analysis. What content performs best for similar accounts? Just like you did competitor analysis for like your market research of what they're pricing, you should do this for what's popular that they post. Don't copy them blatantly, but Instagram and all social media is all like remixes and stuff. So yeah, follow it, but like get on that trend within 48 hours, like I said, or you're going to be lost. You got to shoot stuff quick. So traditional networking and referrals. Networking that actually works is where you meet your ideal client in person. They have that in-person interaction. Are you going to be invited to a wedding? Do you want to just bring your film camera and people ask you about your photography skills? So for, obviously I'm using wedding photographers as my main example. You want to build relationships with coordinators and managers. You can be on their vendors list if you form a relationship. For bridal showers, can you focus on high-end shows and not budget expos? For styled shoots, can you collaborate with planners and florists and venues? Maybe just do a free shoot for them. I always say that free shoots are totally fine to do if there's something like a connection or network you can build out of there. Or spec work is great to do if you do some work and then you watermark your images and say, didn't I do a great job? I'll give you a discount of this much, but don't send them something unless it's watermarked, so you have a little protection there if you really expected to get paid from that. And then local businesses, you should partner with complimentary services, makeup artists, other venues, caterers even. Everyone's getting married at some point. So having all these relationships with people, and then before you know it, you're just somebody they think about because you've formed a connection. Referral system setup. How to get your best clients to send you more clients like them. Referral incentive, $100 credit for each booked referral. But this might not be the best example for wedding photographers, but I hope if you're a wedding photographer, you do more than just that. Maybe you do headshots, maybe you do baby photos, family photos, Christmas cards, baby showers, bridal showers. So giving somebody credit if they refer you somebody is a great way to like get free clients without paying upfront costs. You want to do a follow-up sequence. Ask for referrals 30 days after the delivery of your photos. Make it easy. Provide a referral card or social media template that they could send to somebody, and if it's used and there's a code attached to it, you have an Excel spreadsheet where it's all laid out where, okay, this person used this, okay, putting it in my spreadsheet, and I know this person gets $100 off the next time they book with me. Collaboration strategies, how to partner with vendors who serve your ideal client. So for wedding planners, you want to offer to photograph their styled shoots for portfolio use. Expand your library. This is killing two birds with one stone. You get more work for your portfolio and you build a relationship with the wedding planner. For venues, maybe create venue specific galleries that they can use for marketing, and they just loved how you did that for free. And obviously the wedding shoot is going to be more than the venue is going to hire you, so it's worth doing that free shoot. Makeup artists, you want to cross promote each other's work on social media. Maybe if it's a slow month and you just want to get the creative juices flowing, just talk to some makeup artists who are in that industry you were in. Modular 3, handling price objections like a pro without feeling awkward. The 5 most common objections and the psychology behind why clients say them. Sometimes you'll hear a client say your prices are too high. That means they don't see the value yet. You have to make your website better. You have to make your interaction through email better. You have to make your Instagram better. I need to think about it. That translates to I'm not convinced or need to discuss with my partner. Maybe they're not the person forking over the money. You got to give them some time. But there's stuff you can warm them up with, like maybe send them a testimonial, maybe send them a previous gallery of your work, just to be like, oh, maybe you could talk this over with your partner. And, don't say, I know you're going to talk it over with your partner. partner, but like, give them reasons not to say no. I found somewhere cheaper translates to I'm shopping on price, not value. So maybe that's somebody you don't work with if they're going to fight you on the budget. Trust me, it's not worth it. You have more time and energy for premium clients. Number 4, we don't have that much in our budget. That translates to we haven't prioritized photography or videography, so that's fine. You might not want to work with them anyways, and you are sussing them out just as much as they're sussing you out. And so maybe they'll find a cousin or, a recent college grad to do it for free or cheap, but you're not worth that. Trust me. Can you do it for less? This translates to I'm testing to see if you'll negotiate. If they're a first time client, give them a 10% discount, but don't do more than 10 or 15%, like I was saying before. The feel, felt, found method: how to acknowledge objections without getting defensive. So I understand how you feel about the investment, you want to say. Other couples have felt the same way initially, you want to say. And what they found was the memories were worth every penny. So, for example, I understand how you feel about the investment. Many couples have felt the same way initially, but what they found was that having professional photos they love forever was worth prioritizing in their budget. So, you want to avoid this scarcity mindset. You want to have this abundance mindset: when to walk away and when to negotiate. So the scarcity mindset is I need this booking, and it leads to desperation and discounting. You don't want to do that anymore. Come on. Abundance mindset: the right client will value my work, and this is going to lead to confident pricing. When to walk away is when a client wants a 50% discount or unrealistic timelines or any red flag behavior. You should get used to these red flag behaviors. If you can notice that this person values a cheap rate over quality work, then they're not worth working with. Trust me. So when to negotiate is when there's a slight budget gap, off-season bookings, or if it's a repeat client and they're fun to work with, and you're happy to give them a discount, maybe up to 15, maybe 20%. But it's important to stand your ground. And I do like to say in my preliminary conversations with a client is what was their price range that they were thinking of, and in that range, then I make a package around that. But I'm going to scale it down to what I think my time and energy and effort is worth this. So if their price range is lower than I expect, they might be only going to get like a 2 or 3 hour shoot instead of like a 4 or 5 hour shoot, or whatever it is, or the deliverables are a little changed a little bit. Here's some objection responses. I'll give you a whole list of them after you email me and you said you watched all of this. But so what to say if someone says your prices are too high? I understand this is an investment. Let me show you what's included in this collection. I found somebody cheaper. That's great, you found somebody in your budget. I hope they're perfect fit. Never apologize for your prices or get defensive. So real quick, I just want to talk about a red flag scenario. So a client email would say something like, "Hi, we need a cheap photographer for a wedding next month. We found somebody for 300, but they canceled. Can you do it for 400? We just need someone to take pictures." Your professional response should be, "Thank you for reaching out. Based on your time limit and budget, I don't think I'm the right fit for your needs. I'd recommend checking with local photographer, Facebook groups, whether you might find somebody available. Best of luck with your wedding." Because a $300-400 wedding shoot is a nightmare. It's going to be like 4 to 8 hour day. It's going to be 2 or 3 days worth of editing. You should always have an assistant photographer there, and that's not even enough for 2 of you. So they want you to run around. It's going to be a nightmare. Some behavior warning signs and other things you should look out for: if they're late to the first consultation or meeting, if they're distracted during their meeting, if they argue about your policies, if they have unrealistic expectations, like, can you make me look 20 pounds thinner? Can you Photoshop my ex out of the family photo? Micromanaging tendencies you want to avoid. I want to approve every single photo before you edit it. That's, it's not worth it. And, you can say certain things after careful consideration. I've decided that I don't think we align on budget and scope of work, so I'm gonna have to drop out of this project respectfully, or something like that. In your client interaction, you should always be asking a lot of questions, taking notes. I take photos of my notes and I put them into my AI software, and I generate an email based on the three packages. And some of my AI software already knows what my tiers are going to kind of look like, and it makes a beautiful presentation. Obviously, I have to modify a little bit if I want to blow them away. Sometimes I'll make a Canva presentation with like kind of a mood board. The more visuals you can add, if they haven't seen your website or your social media, the better. That's how you can win them over. Modular 4, turning your portfolio into a client booking machine. Portfolio psychology. Your website should really be what their client is looking for. They want emotional connection. They want to see themselves in your photos. They want to see consistency. Does your style remain cohesive around different shoots? Is the technical quality there? Are the images sharp, well exposed, professionally edited? Storytelling. Does your gallery tell a story of the day of the session? Diversity. Can you handle different lights, different skin tones, venues, client types? Psychological triggers. You want to have social proof. Seeing happy couples who look similar to them is what you're aiming for. And so if you did this one-off shoot that's very different from the rest of your style, that shouldn't be on your website. Aspiration, images that make them envision their ideal day. Trust indicators, professional presentation, consistent quality, testimonials. FOMO, fear of missing out, unique shots that they haven't seen elsewhere. You have a unique eye, I'm sure. You've come up with amazing inspirational shots to do the day of the shoot. Those should be in there. What makes you stand out? Emotional response. Do these photos make them feel something? So the 20 image rule, less is more. Curate your strongest work. Story-driven galleries, arrange images that tell compelling narratives. Hero shot strategies, which images lead with maximum impact. So most people aren't going to look past like 10 images. You should have your best 20 images on your website that shows your range and different shoot capabilities. But it's the top 10 should be the ones that are going to be like blowing them away. No one has time to look through like a gallery of more than 20 photos, but the first 10 are the most important. Make sure it's mobile driven. If you have a website, check how it looks on your phone, because people are going to be looking at their phone the most. If you send them your website, if you send them a gallery, it's you gotta double check that it looks the best on the phone. Obviously, there's going to be different characteristics and embedding and coding you might have to do, obviously with AI's help, to make sure it's going to look best on mobile. So a little more about the hero shot. Which images lead for maximum impact? A hero shot is emotional impact, should evoke immediate emotion, technical excellence. If you have an amazing lens that goes down to 1.4, you should really show that, because not everyone has a lens that goes down to 1.4. Storytelling, can you tell a story through 3 images in a row in your gallery? Universal appeal, does it resonate with your target audience regardless of their specific style preferences? Unique perspective, shows your creative eye and sets you apart from competitors. So the ones that convert are going to be, emotional peak is like a bride crying tears of joy during her vows, seeing the groom's reaction to the bride. Cinematic moment, a couple silhouetted against a dramatic sunset, dancing in golden light. Are you good with flash? Can you, if you're against a sunset, it's going to be like a silhouette, but can you expose them well where, that's not possible on an iPhone? Artistic detail, creative composition, showing rings, dress, details, venue elements, the group celebration, wedding party jumping, family embracing, reception dancing. And you should test these hero shots. Like, can you ask friends or family or past clients, hey, I just updated my website. Can you tell me what you think of my first 20 images? Like, you should do this. It's your eye is from your perspective. So you have to get other people's, see if it invokes emotional response. See if it does something to make somebody say, wow. So image quality and presentation, I'm sure you should know this if you're a photographer or videographer, but like for website images, you shoot RAWs in 30 megs or 40 megs, you export them, then they're around 12 to 15 megs. That's really good for website use, but Instagram compresses down to 4 or 5 megs, I think. So you have to understand that if you're a photographer and you have an image on Instagram and they compress it and it's not crispy when people zoom in, why would they use you as a photographer? That you have to know these settings. So the platform is going to automatically compress. You want to have it lower to 76 to 85 compression or 4 to 6 megabyte range. You want to have crisp images that reflect your professional standards. Blurry or pixelated images suggest poor quality work. I hate seeing amateur photographers post an image on Instagram or Facebook and it just looks like they took a screenshot of something and they posted it and they didn't realize the compression on there was insane, and it hurts my soul when I see that, and they're just not a professional. But you have to show, if you're going to demand premium rates, you have to show, premium quality. So know that Instagram accepts JPEGs only. If you have a screenshot, like I was just saying, they don't accept PNG, so they're going to do their own compression to it. Don't use HEIC's iPhone's format. It's not universally supported. So if you use Capture One or Lightroom or Photoshop, always do JPEG. It's best for Instagram. And the color profile should always be sRGB. It's the standard color space for web and social media display, not Adobe RGB. That's a wider color gamut that Instagram can't display properly. And so color accuracy, you want to use sRGB because it ensures they appear on all devices. Consistency, you want to make sure it matches the colors on most monitors and phones. And so that's why you want to use sRGB. Instagram is different now. It's 1080 by 1350. That's a 4:5 aspect ratio. Takes up maximum screen space in Instagram feeds. So you don't want to use a square. You don't want to use a landscape. Portrait is best for that. If you really want to post a landscape shot, I would maybe suggest doing 3 landscapes on top of each other. In like a carousel, so they can see like 3 different landscapes, and that will equal 4:5. And so yeah, you want to compress it to 67 to 85% compression. That's the sweet spot for file size and image quality. Yeah, 100% Instagram doesn't know how to do that, and they do its own compression, and it's not crisp. Trust me, I've been there and I've done that. And you don't want to do below 70% because there's visible quality degradation and artifacts. And so in Photoshop or Lightroom or Capture One, you always want to resize to 1080 pixels wide before exporting. This prevents Instagram from resizing, maintains better control, sharpening optimization, consistent quality. You want to do the same process to ensure consistent results across all posts, faster uploads. If you are consistent with this, and you have to understand your viewers' data as well. You don't want to have something that's too high quality and then it looks bad just because they have shitty cell service. I'll send you an export setting cheat sheet after you email me, after you watch this all, so you can just refer to this whenever you want. I know it's a lot if you're not really technical and you just do like quick edits and you don't know all the export settings. I'll send you this at the end. Client gallery system. So Pixieset is my favorite. There's more than one option. You can research it if you want, but I love it because it's beautiful. I shoot in RAW and JPEG on my shoots. I make sure my JPEGs are small so I don't have to do any re-exporting just to send them the selects to choose from. If I can though, I will have my computer on set so we can choose the selects together. The whole selects process is such a nightmare in the past that I was using Dropbox or G Drive for people to select. And what would they have to do? They have to write in a notebook the file name of what they love the most. It doesn't make sense. So Pixieset, I shoot JPEGs on my camera along with RAWs, low quality JPEGs, so they upload faster to Pixieset. I delete all the blinking ones and the poorly exposed shots so they don't see that. It's more professional that way. It takes a little time, but it's worth it. And then I send them a link to Pixieset and they just heart their favorites and I get a notification, and you can copy all the file names. It's very transferable to Lightroom. I use Capture One, but basically you have the selects in a different folder and you can see what they wanted to have edited, and then you're done. And it's a process that should happen, in a day or two. Sometimes, in the past, it takes a week to get selects back from clients of which ones did they want edited. With Pixieset, I come back home, I have the JPEGs, I have the RAWs on the same file. I upload all the JPEGs that it look good to Pixieset, send them the link. In a day or two, they'll be blown away because it's a beautiful gallery, and then I can edit and have a turnaround time within a week, even though it took 2 or 3 days just to get the selects back. And blowing them away with speed is a perfect way to get recommendations, testimonials, or more clients, because you're just in that system of client galleries that are beautiful and help you book more clients and all that good stuff. There's a client-friendly interface. It's not tech savvy. There's integrated shopping if people want to buy prints or albums. There's mobile optimization. It looks great on the phone, and there's branding options too. So I highly recommend Pixie Set. Um, it looks polished and branded compared to Google Drive and Dropbox. There's no download limits. I do pay $20 a month, just to let you know, full transparency. There is like a free version if you only upload this amount of storage. So if you do really low JPEGs, you could maybe just do one at a time if you do want to save money and then delete that collection. But there's a lot of great stuff on Pixie Set. There's like booking systems if you have a studio. So it's more than just client galleries. I would check Pixie Set out. I can send you a referral code at the end if you want like some discount off your first month or so. Another reason why I love Pixie Set is it does have contracts and invoicing stuff too. But if you're ready to take the next step and you are profitable, then I would really suggest Honeybook. It's a all-in-one client management for creatives. It's designed specifically for photographers and other creative professionals. It combines CRM, contracts, invoices, project management into one streamlined system. So CRM stands for client response management. It tracks leads from inquiries and booking to delivery, professional proposals, branded content, automated workflows, email sequences, follow-ups, task reminders, payment processing, invoicing, payment plans, online payments, project timelines, keeping clients and vendors organized with shared timelines. So if you're good with doing this on your own and your other systems, do it, but definitely think about Honeybook. It automates 80% of client communication, professional appearance, which builds trust, probably saves at least 10 hours per week in admin tasks, integrates popular photography tools. There's mobile friendly for on-the-go management, and it is priced from $9 to $40 a month depending on the features you need. And so definitely perfect for photographers to scale basic email and spreadsheet management. It's pretty incredible. Dubsado is advanced automation for photographers. It's comprehensive business management platform that goes beyond basic CRM. It's built for photographers who want sophisticated automation and complete customization of their client experiences. Key features are advanced automation, white label branding, completely customizes client portals with your brand, smart forms, contract management, project management. It's more customizable than Honeybooks. It handles complex business workflows. It scales your growing photography businesses. It saves you probably 15 to 20 hours per week. It's free up to 3 clients, and then it's just $20 to $40 a month. Best for established photographers who want to maximize control over their client experience and have complete business processes to automate. If Honeybook is like having a virtual assistant, Dubsado is like having an entire automated business operation team working 24/7. So if you're like me and you like to do everything yourself, a little AI asking ChatGPT how to set all this up, you'll be in it in no time, and it's a breeze. Modular 5, the follow-up formula that converts inquiries into bookings. Responsive communication systems. I want you to get really good at being really quick at all this. I used to be so bad at email. I used to be so bad at responding to people, but I'm so quick. I want to get back to people within 6 hours or less. And so you want to beat out the other people by responding first. First responder advantage. 78% of clients book the first photographer who responds professionally. So if you're really good at all this stuff, you can automate it some stuff. You can have template emails that you just have to adjust slightly, save it in your notes section, save it in Notion, save it somewhere in Google Drive. You just have to copy and paste and change a few things. Oh, you're going to be ahead of the curve. Momentum preservation. Clients are most excited immediately after reaching out. The competition factor. While you're crafting the perfect email, competitors are booking that client. So you want to have these template emails, and I'll send you at least 10 if you email me at the end of this. Mobile behavior. Most inquiries come from mobile devices where people expect instant responses. Decision timeline. Wedding planning moves fast. Delays can mean losing the booking entirely. When you're doing this market research of the 5 competitors in your area, I want you to see how easy it is for people to get on a call with them, to book a session with them, to text them, figure out what they're doing well and improve upon that. And are you good at text? Are you good at email? Do you like to have a Zoom call? Do you like to have an in-person meeting? Take what they do well and make it your own, because you all have your own unique styles. So the psychology of quick responses, the fast response suggests you're professional and organized. Um, it shows you're actively running your business and not just a weekend hobbyist. It shows respect and demonstrates you value their time and inquiry. And it's a confidence builder. Quick responses reduce client anxiety about choosing you, and it keeps the momentum going, keeps the conversation moving towards the booking. They're most excited when they're searching for the right fit. And so if you respond fast, you respond professionally, you have a great website, you are already sending them some examples more than what's just on your website from Pixie Set or something else, you're going to book that client like 9 times out of 10. So here's a quick just example for a quick response template. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for reaching out about your wedding photography. I'm so excited to learn about your special day. I'm currently with a client, but wanted to acknowledge your inquiry right away. I'll send you a detailed response with my availability and pricing information by tomorrow morning. In the meantime, feel free to browse my recent work. Put your website in. Looking forward to chatting with you soon. Your name. I am so quick to respond to anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a friend or a client or a potential client. If I'm on a shoot and somebody texts me about something, I will have a break in that shoot. You know, I got to go to the bathroom, I got to get a glass of water or coffee or something. I will respond to most people within 10 minutes, and I will say, hey, I'm busy right now. I'm available in 4 hours. You want me to call you then, or you want me to text you then? Boom. Make it be known that you're somebody who respects everybody else's time just as much as you want your time to be respected too. There's no excuse for not responding quick, not responding professionally. If you have template emails, if you are you don't have a sales team, you got to do all this yourself until you build the systems and automate everything with Honeybooks or Dubsado or whatever else you want to use. So follow-up systems and tools. This is how you should follow up without being pushy. So I call it the 7-touch follow-up sequence. Touch 1, immediate, same day. Within 2 to 4 hours of the consultation, you need to thank them and provide promised materials. So here's a suggestion. Thank you for the wonderful conversation. As promised, here's my pricing guide and contract. Your date is currently available, and I'm excited about the possibility of working with you. Hold that date. Put it in your calendar. You should see my calendar. It's insane. And just say, hold for blank potential client. You want to include your pricing guide, the sample contract, and the next steps, like what we're getting on a call tomorrow to discuss more. We're talking in person. And tone. You want to be enthusiastic but not pushy. Touch 2 is day 3. 3 days after the consultation, you want to check in and answer questions. So you want to say, hi, Sarah, I wanted to check in, see if you had any questions about the collection we discussed. I'm here to help with anything you need to make this decision feel easy. You want to include an offer to schedule a follow-up call if needed. Your tone should be helpful and available. Now, day 7, touch 3, I call it, is 1 week after consultation. You want to provide social proof and maintain connection. Like you want to say, hi, I hope wedding planning is going well. I just delivered photos from a wedding similar to yours and thought you might want to see them. Link to your recent gallery. Still happy to answer any questions about your photography needs. And then you want to include recent work that matches their style to the venue. Tone, sharing value, not selling. Touch 4, 14 days after, 2 weeks after consultation, create gentle urgency. Hi, I wanted to give you a quick update. I have another couple interested in your date. You really don't have to have another couple interested in the date, but say this. So I wanted to check in with you on your timeline. No pressure at all, just wanted to keep you informed. You want to reiterate your excitement about the wedding, but your tone should be informative and not threatening. There's a potential conflict. If they want to book you, it's 50% deposit. They have to know that you're a busy person. You're a busy creative. Touch 5, 21 days after. Provide additional value. I was thinking about your beautiful venue and remembered this style shoot I did last year. Share more images. This light is absolutely magical here. How's the planning going? You want to include venue-specific work or planning tips. Your tone should be personal and thoughtful. Now, a month after consultation, touch 6, you might have lost them. But like I written down, 80% of sales happen after the 5th content. So touch 6 is day 30, 1 month after consultation. It's a final soft pitch. Hi, Sarah. I know you're probably busy with planning, but I wanted to reach out with one more time about your photography needs. I still have your date available and would absolutely love to be a part of your special day. If you decided to go in a different direction, I totally understand and wish you the best. You're not saying I need to know if you go, with a different photographer, but you're just letting them know. You want to include an easy way for them to say no gracefully because, I hate these no response clients because I'm so responsive. And you want to be understanding and gracious. Okay, 2 months, final touch, then give it up. Give it up after touch 7. 2 months after consultation, final follow up and relationship maintenance. Hi, I hope the wedding planning is going amazingly. I know we haven't connected in a while, but I wanted you to know I'm still here if you need any photography related needs. Even if you've chosen another photographer, I'm happy to answer questions about working with photographers in general. Wishing you the most beautiful wedding. You're offering to be helpful even if they don't hire you, and maybe they'll recommend you to somebody else who you're more in their budget. And you want to just be genuinely helpful and kind, and that's it. Obviously, if their wedding is like a year and a half away, you can space all these things out, but most wedding planning happens a year to like 9 months. So yeah, space it out accordingly. But those are my 7 touches of communication with a client. So for your discovery call, your first consultation, whether it's in person or a Zoom or a phone call, you want to, act like they're already your client. Example, when I'm photographing your ceremony, I'll position myself here. You don't want to say if you hire me. Just act like they already hired you. It will be easy for them to say yes when you have all this thought and intention put into this. You want to lean forward, make good eye contact, speak confidently, give them options between packages, ask them questions about their price range, so it's not like a weird thing at the end where you're like, okay, I start at this price. Like, they should already know in the beginning the range, or you got to ask questions. What were you guys thinking of budgeting for video or photography? And then you want to create some urgency. I only take 20 weddings per year because I love to have deliver quality work. So I have 3 dates left for 2025 or whatever. You want them to make a decision within like a week after the consultation. 'Cause like I said, you're going to lose them if you've had 5 contacts with them and it doesn't seem like it's moving in the right direction. So when you want to handle hesitation during your preliminary call, if they say that you need to think about it, say, of course, what specific aspects would you like to think through? This can help you with a follow-up email with links and things that you should send them. Maybe they want to see a mood board that you thought about this. Just you gotta ask questions. It's like a date. And then obviously ask their permission if you're going to record the call. Those follow-up emails that are a summary of the calls really blows most of my clients away, and they love seeing that. They see what we talked about, they see what their homework is to do, they see what my assignments are to do, and then we just get on a beautiful correspondence. The more questions you ask in these preliminary discovery call meetings, you can really, change everything to them. The more specific you make your proposal or your 3-tier package and your email to them, the more they feel like you're the right fit. So, if you want to change your package from, basic, pro, and elite, maybe you want to change the packages to essential, premium, luxury, or maybe emotional based, like the romantic, the storyteller, the heirloom collection. All these questions that you ask, if you're in person, take notes. And then, like I said, use AI to help craft an email and put a voiceover with AI to get a beautiful email proposal presentation. Attach your tier package list that's modified to their needs. And you should find out all this information in the first discovery call because it shows that you're a good listener, attention to detail, you're organized, and you're going to deliver above and beyond their expectations, and it's worth that price. Modular 6, scale to full-time without burning out. So the transition strategy, go from your side hustle to full time. So this is a 12-month plan, okay? So month 1 through 3 is your foundation building. Your goal should be establishing systems and increase prices to sustainable levels. Your goal should be increasing prices every 10 clients booked similarly or like 3 months, whatever hits first. So your revenue target should be, at least 1,000 to 2,000 a month just from photo or video. Your key actions should be implementing your CRM, creative professional contracts, and raise your prices by 25 to 40%, and just see who you get, you know. Your day job status. You should keep your full-time job, photography on weekends or video on weekends only. And your focus area should be your portfolio development, pricing confidence, and basic business systems. So your specific actions, set up professional email, get your website better, create 3-tier pricing structure, get these templates going for contracts and everything else, figure out those calculations, photograph 2 to 3 sessions at new higher prices, start building email lists, and get your social media presence better. Months 2 through 3, book your first premium client, create client onboarding system, develop a referral program, build portfolio with recent work, start content creation routine, at least 3 posts a week. And then months 4 through 6, growth validation. Your goal is consistent bookings and refined processes. Your revenue goal should be $2,000 to $4,000 a month from photography. Your key action should be booking 2 to 3 premium clients per month, streamlined workflow, building a waiting list. Your day job status may be still full-time, but your income is growing from the creativity fields. Your focus area is client experience, workflow efficiency, and marketing systems. So these specific actions are implemented automated follow-up sequences, create client questionnaire and timeline. You can do this on Typeform. Typeform's a great program for getting clients to answer questions about how you can improve your process. I want you to book 6 to 8 premium clients for the following year, have it booked out. Develop a signature editing style and workflow, start building relationships with vendors. And then months 7 through 9 is scaling and preparation. Your goal should replace 50 to 75% of your day job income. Your target revenue should be $4,000 to $6,000 a month. Your key actions is book out the peak season, create passive income streams, prepare for transition, and your day job status is consider reducing to part-time if possible. And your focus areas is revenue diversification, team building preparation, financial planning, launch digital products, presets, guides, templates, create a course or a workshop. I love teaching. Hopefully you guys do too. Live events are so much fun for me. I want you to build an email list of 1,000 subscribers, establish relationships with 5 to 10 preferred vendors, save 6 months of expenses as a transition fund. And then months 10 through 12, full transition. You're replacing your day job income and you're about to leave. You're getting $6,000 to $10,000 a month from photo and video. You leave your day job, you give notice, and you do business growth, team building, and long-term strategy. You want to give at least 2 to 4 weeks notice at your day job. You want to hire an assistant and a second shooter, have your own vendors list, implement advanced automation systems, launch premium service offerings, and plan next year's business growth strategy. So just to be sure, don't quit your day job until your photography income is stable for 3+ months, because you're going to have to pay for more subscriptions to automate some things. You have to do a little bit more marketing. Maybe you hire an assistant to help you with content creation or an editor to help with content creation with reels and stuff. You want to diversify your income, multiple streams beyond just one client work. You want to offer maybe prints. You want to offer consultations for young photographers. You want to offer maybe editing courses and teaching people how to edit in your style. You want to even do affiliate programs if you can hit certain milestones as an influencer or social media person. I know influencer is like kind of a bad word sometimes. And you want to have professional relationships with your current employer, because maybe they have somebody who's getting married if you do the wedding stuff. And you want to have health insurance and figure that out, because you are leaving your day job and you have to figure that out on your own. So think about those things. So yeah, ways to make money besides, just photo and video stuff is like digital presets and actions, having a community like school, online courses and workshops, stock photography. Maybe you could sell your photography to certain sites. affiliate partnerships, if you hit a certain milestone as a social media influencer, print sales, try to get your stuff shown in galleries and do events, or just get your stuff somewhere shown. And then you could do that for free for the first time, or have an agreement with the art gallery or a coffee shop, or a little cafe. And then you want to get print sales up, mentoring and coaching, teaching other people how to get to where you were, and license existing work. There's a big niche for that, and AI can help you with that really quickly. So once you have enough income coming, I want you to think about, having a team of, 1 to 2 people, including yourself, but, the output is like a team of 5. This is systems like Poppy or ChatGPT or Honeybooks or Dubsado, or any other tools that are going to help you get leads, get clients. And then maybe you have an assistant who oversees social media and bookings, and then you have another assistant who is your assistant photographer, and they help with client meetings and discovery calls. But once you get to a point, you should think about getting your subscriptions on a year basis. If you know what your expenses are, if you're doing a spreadsheet of what your overhead is and what your incoming clients are and your other diversified streams of income is, you should think about getting year subscriptions. You should think about doing partnerships with maybe certain softwares where you can get a deal if you give out the discount code, like affiliate programs. You should have a content calendar, scheduling with AI optimization. You should automate your repurposing. If your assistant is helping with social media, turn your YouTube videos into shorts or reels, turn your reels into carousels, your carousels into reels. Think about how you could do that. Your client emails, make that into a carousel post, teaching other people how to do that. It should all be automated. Like, one day a week is this stuff. This day of the week, I have client meetings. This day of the week, I have shoots and editing. And just time block your stuff out. Like, time blocking is amazing. I even put in my calendar when I'm taking a nap or whatever. I work late nights sometimes. So just get yourself into a system of automation. And so when there are little hiccups, it's not going to overwhelm you, because most of the day is kind of organized and planned. And when there is one thing that goes awry or wrong or not according to plan, you can go with the flow, because most of your life by then is kind of systemized. So again, export settings, I'll send you my cheat sheet, but like, just remember what each program or app is going to take. This is really going to blow anybody away who sees your content. You really need to have amazing social media if you want to have generate natural leads. You want to have the links in your Instagram very easy to book a call, very easy to see your gallery, very easy to see what your offerings are. Also, Canva is amazing for this. Their resize stuff. You can input an Instagram post and it can output to an Instagram story, a Facebook post, a Pinterest post, a Twitter header. You should definitely use Canva. So just to go over what I love using is Notion for content scheduling, just a better way of Google Drive stuff than spreadsheets and stuff. Definitely use Calendly for booking calls. Definitely use Canva for designs, proposals, 3-tier packages. Use Google Drive for your contracts, the templates you have. I use my notes in iCloud for everything pretty much. So I have it on my phone and my computer. I can easily copy and paste a response, email or text wise, to a client, because I have everything that they might say and I know exactly what to respond to them. Obviously, I'll tweak it a little bit. And then obviously, I love using ChatGPT. I don't pay for it though, because I pay for Poppy and I like Poppy best. So I just have the free version of ChatGPT. I use Capture One for photography, photo editing. That was a one-time fee of $287, and I haven't paid for the new one since. I moved away from the Adobe subscription model. So one thing to consider, if Adobe Creative Cloud is eating up your costs subscription wise, I use DaVinci Resolve for editing video and color grading. I don't use Premiere anymore. I would definitely suggest DaVinci. There's a free version. It's amazing for video. And I use CapCut for finessing edits because of the transition and the auto captions. And CapCut is only $70 a year. So one-time fee of Capture One, one-time fee for DaVinci Resolve. There's a free version as well. and CapCut, and then Canva, Poppy, and just a few other things. I don't really pay that much because I've avoided Creative Cloud, Adobe's programs. So if you are hurting right now, I would suggest looking into DaVinci Resolve for video, and I would suggest doing Capture One for photo editing. It's like a combination of Lightroom and Photoshop, and I love it. One-time fee version. So there is a subscription model as well, but I think what I use, the one-time fee version of Capture One, is fantastic. Bonus materials, I'm going to give you contract templates, and you just modify them. If you email me after this, I will give you a little pricing calculator. You can just plug and play what your overhead is and what this is, and you can kind of get what your rate should be for the 3 tiers. I'll give you my export settings cheat sheet for YouTube, Instagram, Spotify podcast settings. I'll give you at least 10 templates for emails, client onboarding checklists, so you can see what you need to do, and the responses for the clients as well for different scenarios, and a social media content calendar. I'll send you one on Notion if you prefer Notion, but just email me after you watch this and I'll send you each of those. Why this works is that the systems are going to change everything. Time is money, money is time. You should be spending time editing, getting clients, making your website and your social media is polished, and shooting, and those should be your priority of time. You will be burnt out if you don't prioritize that as your priorities. So everything else you got to make easy for yourself. Templates for contracts, emails, 3-tier proposals, mood board templates, get it all, like spend a day or two a week just getting all that good and ready, and then your life is just going to become so much easier. You want to position yourself so you attract clients who value quality, and you have to do that through your website, through your Instagram, through how you deal with a client from the discovery call to the booking. And you need to figure out how to work smarter and not harder. So these systems and these tools I'm telling you to use is only because they've saved me so much time and energy. And for a while, I wasn't getting good sleep. And so I know how crucial your energy is, and to not waste it on administrative tasks or tasks that you can't just depend on AI for, or you can't afford an assistant yet. Then you have to build these systems out, because you will be able to scale so much faster. And I want you to be a millionaire. Trust me. And this is all proven because I was a freelancer. I always had a part-time job. I never put all my eggs in the basket of creativity. I was always dreaming of a day where I could say I was making 100% of my income from my art, and I am. And I just want to teach other people to do it too, because I almost gave up. So I hope this was useful for you, and please engage in the school community. I'll be posting more than once weekly, some tips and tricks, some other things, talk to the other people in the community so you guys can help each other out. Maybe you guys are in the same area. If you can't do a shoot, maybe you can recommend this person. And yeah, I've done live events for a while now, and so to reach a broader audience means a lot to me. So thank you for watching. And so you should now have these complete systems to build a 6-figure business within a year, okay? These modulars should give you everything you need to stop undercharging and attracting clients who actually value your work. The transformation happens when you take action, though, okay? And it's like, I can teach you all this, but if you don't do anything about it, you're going to stay where you are. You have to price confidently. You have to attract your dream client. You have to do that dream avatar. Exercise, handling objectives like a pro, optimizing your system, scaling with multiple revenue streams. Your creative talent, you got you this far, but the business fundamentals will get you to 6 figures that you've dreamed for forever, I'm sure. So if you want to dive deeper and create your personalized action plan, you can book a one-on-one call with me to discuss your specific situation. I work with videographers and photographers. You can overcome your biggest roadblocks, map out your path to profitable photography business that funds your creative vision. I also do a 6-week course to walk you through every step if you just need some help checking off the boxes, give you homework assignments, things to watch. We get on an hour-and-a-half call the first week just to assess your needs, and I build a plan around what you need help with the most. And then weeks 2 through 5, we get on an hour call. And last call, we do sales training and dive a little deeper with an hour and a half call. But there'll be homework assignments in between there. So if you're interested in that, we can do a 15-minute call to talk about that and see if that's right for you. And I'll give you more templates. I'll give you my password to AI if you do the 6-week course. I'm happy to give Poppy away. It's been incredible for me. So yeah, your breakthrough is just one conversation away if you want some more one-on-one specific coaching. So if you want to book my 45-minute call, I'm only charging $10 for that at the moment. Visit my website if you'd like, and then the 6-week coaching course is a little more expensive, but we'll get on just a 15-minute call to go over that if you'd like. So those are the QR codes, and thank you for watching, and keep active in the school community.